Tucker's ready. There's the snap. Spot down. Kick on the way. It is up and it is off the crossbar and through. Oh my goodness, are you kidding me? And the Ravens are celebrating on the field. The longest field goal in the history of the NFL has just beaten the Detroit Lions.
Well, I don't know what the Webster says the definition of same old Lions is, but it has seemed to become finding new and exciting ways to lose. They literally rewrite the rule book.
Look at all of this crap.
Or the record book in this case for how to lose a football game. Your Detroit Lions lose at the buzzer. Justin Tucker, an NFL record 66-yard field goal. Ryan Slocum here with you. Happy to be joined by the old ball coach, the old Michigan State shortstop, Eric Doyle.
What up, Doe?
And Eric, here we go again in 2021.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I'm here to talk to you again. Ryan, if there was ever a same old Lions, this is it. You know, I thought, you know, offensively, it's a struggle. But, that last drive to get down in field goal range and get a go-ahead field goal was finding a way to try to win a football game. And I thought defensively, they were fantastic today outside of probably two plays. The 19-yard touchdown in the second quarter where they had him 3rd and 18 from the 19, and you can't let somebody get behind you there. You got to keep it in front and concede a field goal. And then obviously the 4th down play, which we'll talk about, where they got the ball out to midfield for the opportunity to kick the field goal. That was, we can debate. We're going to talk about the Dan Campbell idea to call a timeout there. I'm not sure if that's – I understand the thought process. He wants to get his guys rested, but then he doesn't bring pressure. Then he sits, and they've done a really good job all day long of bringing pressure in his face. Lamar Jackson's a different animal. We know this. We'll talk about this too, and how to defend him. You can't just all-out blitz him. You got to keep your rush lane integrity against a guy like that because he can go, 0 to 60 in a second. But I thought they did a really nice job of bringing pressure in his face all day long and cupped him and kept him in front of him and did a great job. And then just the Lions being the Lions, Ryan. And we gotta question a couple things.
Yeah, we'll hit those positives here coming up. But there's a lot of negatives to get to first, my friend.
Of course, there always is.
Since you mentioned it, though, before we get to Tucker, you just brought up one of the negatives a lot of people think, and you as a coach, I wonder what you think. Calling timeout on that 4th and 19. You got to Lamar a couple of times. You forced, as I said, 4th and very long. What do you think about giving him the opportunity? And then they did not get pressure. He had all day to then find Sammy Watkins. But just the fact that you gave Harbaugh some time to draw up something.
Yeah, personally, Ryan, I don't, in a situation like that, unless you're misaligned or you don't have the right personnel in, that'd be the only reason to call a timeout. You got them reeling. They don't have a timeout left. You've just got to him 3 times in a row. He threw one away. They sacked him. I think they sacked him once and forced him into another incompletion. And you got him at 4th down. I say you just roll there, man. You just roll there. And you keep your defense out there, and you try to keep doing what you're doing and make one more play. You don't give them an opportunity to talk about it, and they did. And well, we know what happened after that. So I disagree with it, but you know what I mean. My only reasoning is he's trying to give those guys. Chasing Lamar Jackson around for 48 minutes is a lot. It's going to spend you. But, it was just one more snap. I didn't like the idea at that point in time to call a timeout and give them an opportunity to regroup.
Well, and as if it wasn't bad enough, this kick didn't just have to go through the uprights. It could have just went through. It had to hit the bar, bounce 20 feet, possibly even a mile up in the freaking air, and then drop through. I mean,
It became personal with me.
it's just gut punch after gut punch. And then he, grabbing it and turning it a little bit and grinding it. The Lions cannot lose without grinding it as much as humanly possible. I swear to you, that ball shot straight up in the air 20 feet.
Unbelievable. And to have the top spin after that to carry it over
only the Lions, man.
Only the Lions, man. That's all I can say. And I know we'll talk about the third down play or the snap before.
Yeah. Go ahead right now.
The snap before, it's we've lived through them all, Ryan. We've lived through them all, and it seems I'll say this, and games generally come down to more than one call. However, in my lifetime, I can't remember getting that one call. I can't. Another one today. It sure looked like the play clock was. I don't know if the play clock was out. There's no question. There's no way it was off from the video presentation of the score. It was 2 full seconds. It wasn't even close. I mean, the announcers counted it down and didn't say anything.
Right.
In the studio show afterwards, they touched on it, and then Gene Steratore, trying to cover for his officiating buddies and talking about the human element of looking at the clock. And come on, Ryan, when are we going to get one of those? I mean, 5 yards. They don't even attempt the field goal.
Right.
From 71. They don't even attempt it. They have to throw one up, and that's a way lower percentage play than trying to kick a 66-yarder with maybe the best kicker in the league.
Yeah, so, and this was, to me, the true SOL moment. And I was actually in the car listening to the game. I did not see it live. I heard it live. And Dan Miller did a great job right from the get-go saying, this will be an NFL record. And I thought the CBS crew did an awful job. You didn't really know until right before he kicked it. Oh, by the way, this is 66 yards. Dan Miller was all over it, said it 4 or 5 times, but he also kept saying, they got to get out there. They got to get out there. The play clock's going down. They don't have time because Tucker originally walked out there, and then they pulled him back off the field, and they're like, they don't have time. They got to clock it. They got to clock it. So he was on top of it from the get-go. And if there was a true SOL moment here, that's what it was, because the Lions do never seem to get the call. They do never, and that's what ticks people off. The NFL wants us to lose, Detroit versus everybody stuff. That's why right there, because I kind of thought 66 was crazy, let alone 71 if they get backed up 5 yards. So, but the funny thing is, you never count out Justin Tucker, as we know, and they did hint on it during the broadcast as well. If you remember, going back a couple of years, the very last time that the Ravens were in Ford Field, the Lions defense stood tall. It was all Tucker. 6 field goals, including a 61-yarder, his then career long. Unbelievable, man.
It is.
And we've seen this going back, actually, to 1970. If you remember, forever it was 63 yards. That was the record.
Dempsey forever.
Tom Dempsey with half of a freaking foot. The guy don't even have an entire foot, and he beats the Lions from 63 yards out. That is SOL, my friends.
You was lucky, punk.
Unbelievable, man. And by the way, that game against the Saints, 1970, the score of that game, 19-17. Same as today.
Oh, man.
19-17. Unbelievable. What a great job by Tom. What a great job by Tuck. Let's go move on a little bit. The Lions did a great job, as you mentioned, defensively, I thought, especially in the second half. Now, secondary is awful. And this game could have gotten a lot worse if Hollywood Brown, forgot where he was during the second quarter. I don't know what that guy was doing. He dropped 2 wide open passes, and Lamar's actually out there dropping dimes.
He was.
And Anyway, so that obviously made it a little bit closer. Secondary was awful, but that front four I thought was obviously the best we've seen them this year.
Honestly, Ryan, they were fantastic. They were very disciplined today. You know what I mean? Like we talked about that in the opening a little bit. Lamar Jackson is, outside of maybe Kyler Murray and Patrick Mahomes, I'd throw those three kind of together. Josh Allen moves around a little bit, and guys are getting more athletic. There's not too many Tom Brady's out there anymore that are flat out statues, but Lamar Jackson is straight line. I'd say he's even faster than Murray, and Mahomes, but they did a really good job of bringing pressure in his face. You know what I mean? You don't edge rush Lamar because you don't want to give him lanes to take off. You kind of want to cup him. You want to keep him in front of you. You want to bull rush and drive people back and get bodies in his face. And we really did a really nice job of that today. And he struggled with that. You could see it. You know what I mean? We did a nice job of that. But, defensively, I thought we were fine today outside of those two plays, honestly. You know what I mean? We're not great, but we played well enough defensively to win the game. Offensively, we'll talk about, Ryan, this is a bad offensive football team.
Yeah. They got one playmaker pretty much.
They got one playmaker. I thought Jamal Williams carried the ball. I thought he did a really nice job in the run game. They ran the ball left very well today behind the rookie again.
Yeah.
But God, penalties are killing this offense. Absolutely killing it. Twice in the ball game, they were in situations to go for it inside their 40 on 4th and 1 and got procedure penalties both times. That took them back to have to punt. They get one of those first downs, chances are we have an opportunity to kick a field goal, and then it's a moot point. Then they have to throw one at the end of the game and can't kick a field goal to beat us. So
they had two running backs today. They had at least 65 yards from scrimmage and a rushing touchdown. First time they've done that since 2015, Amir Abdullah and Joik Bell. And then going back to the defense a little bit, 4 guys with that got sacks at home. Hasn't happened again since 2015. That tells you how long it's been since some of these things have happened. Been 6 years since they've been able to do that. And also, they hold Baltimore 1 of 10 on 3rd down in this game, which is pretty crazy. And they pretty much held their rushing game down, I thought. They didn't really get off. Lamar was their leader, 58 yards. Latavius Murray only had 28.
That's good enough to win a football game in this league, Ryan. It really is. I didn't think Goff – this game, at the NFL level, it's different than any other level of football. It's a field position game. And we had a couple penalties that cost us dearly with field position. Mm-hmm. Coming out, this was in the second quarter, Jonah Jackson got 2 penalties on the same drive. Got a hold after Swift popped one for a first down coming out of our own end zone that negated a first down. And then we got a personal foul penalty. He got an unsportsmanlike or a personal foul later in the drive that hurt us again. That brought us back in our own end zone. So we had to kick out of the shadow of our goalpost, and that turned into points for Baltimore because they got the ball around midfield. And then we get a turnover on a punt, and we run out of bounds with the gunner.
Yes,
comes back in. That killed us too. We would have had the ball at the 10-yard line.
Yes.
Instead, they got the ball at the 50, and Baltimore got points on that. That's when they scored their touchdown.
Yeah.
So that's inexcusable stuff. That I thought Aaron Glenn called a heck of a game today. I got to question Campbell a little bit on the timeout, but other than that, but penalties are a reflection of discipline. And we are committing way too many penalties, especially offensively. And Dan Campbell needs to right that. This team doesn't. We've talked about it. There's not much of a margin for error, Ryan. So we can't afford to put ourselves behind the sticks or give people additional sets of downs and things of that nature. And we did that today, and it cost us.
Yeah, and to the team's credit, it's not an excuse you're in the league, but they are the youngest team in the league, and they have a first-year head coach. So growing pains are going to be there. 7 penalties is a lot. Only 35 yards on those, but it's like you said, It's when they happen, especially on that fumble. It's the Lions' ball there, and they lose the ball, and they go down and score. Here's something I can't believe at all, especially right now with all the young kids. The Lions have an NFL leading streak, 11 straight red zone drives that have resulted in a touchdown. That is unbelievable to me. You know, and when you go back to the Calvin Johnsons and the Roy Williams and the Mike Williams and all the tight ends they had, it should have been Fade City. You know, they should have been scoring everything. No, now is the time. 11 straight red zone drives. That is very hard to believe again.
Jared Goff today, he's got to do a better job in making sure we're in the right protection scheme. You know, he took a couple of huge sacks today on third down stuff on some nickel pressure out of the slot, stuff that he's got to be able to pick up and see. And that's killed drives too. You know, once again, we have to move forward. We're not gonna sling it down the field 35, 40 yards every trip. So we gotta be able to get ourselves in the proper blitz protection scheme, and we got to be able to check the ball down. And we can't take those sacks. And he took a couple drive killers. I'm talking 15-yard drops, and he just gave way. And that was, I mean, that once again, that's a field position thing, Ryan. You know what I mean? Like, we got to play the field position, and it was shaping up to be that type of game because defensively we were holding our water. So we got to play field position there, and we can't take some of those sacks that he took today. You know, but other than that, you know, we didn't get any production out of the wide receivers again, but we never do.
Right.
You know, but they did a pretty nice job on Hawkinson today. But I would say, and you touched on it, I thought Jamal Williams and I thought DeAndre Swift did a really nice job today. I mean, they ran the ball hard. I liked us in the run game. I thought we were pretty physical, and we did a pretty nice job with that. But you know, once again, just not enough.
Yeah, they basically took Hawkinson out of this game. 2 catches, 10 yards. That's all he had. And it was really a tale, I thought, of 2 halves. I thought Goff was better, especially completing the ball in the second half. He was awful in the first half, but nothing doing. And you mentioned going forward, and you want to talk about bad. Don't know that we're going to see Justin Fields again next week if Andy Dalton is healthy, because he was as bad as anybody has ever been today. 6 of 20 for only 68 yards.
That's terrible.
You want to talk about sacks? The rookie was hit 9 times for a loss of 67 today. So if they don't have Big Red out there, they are going to have some issues big time. 47 total yards, Eric. 47 for the Chicago Bears. The Cleveland Browns, 418 total yards today.
In my opinion, that sucked.
Wow, that's a beat down. You know, and actually Matt Hasselbeck talked about that today and his concerns on Sunday Countdown today, and he said the issue with Justin Fields is going to be as it is with any, and it's your job as a quarterback to get you into the correct protection scheme, and that's what young quarterbacks struggle with. I'm not calling Jared Goff a young quarterback at this point in his career. He's got to be able to get us in schemes to protect himself so we can get the ball out. He's got to recognize things. And I know that, you know, that there's some Baltimore did a pretty nice job with some exotic blitz packages and some zipper looks and things like that. But, you know, he's got to get us into a better protection scheme, especially as young as we are. You know, no Taylor Decker. Sewell, playing on the left side. Jared Goff's got to do a better job of commanding that offense and getting us into the proper looks.
Yeah, he's been in a Super Bowl. You know, he won a playoff game last year. Yeah, he's got to be able to do these things, especially with such young players. Anything else before we jump into a little game here, Eric? We have another one here for you.
All right.
Anything else on this one, though, before that stood out to you?
No, you know, I like their fight. I thought they played hard today. I thought the crowd was into it. I was happy to see that, you know. But it's hard because they're going to be tough to come by this year. We're not going to get a ton of them, and we had an opportunity today to get one, and we didn't get it. So we have to get the ones that when we're in striking distance in the fourth quarter, winning a football game and have an opportunity to do it, we got to finish the deal. Or it might be a while before we get one. So,
right. Well, as you know, today was one of those days. Another one that we're going to be talking about till you and I are dead and gone. This is one everybody's going to remember. The same old Lions got beat because someone broke the NFL record with a 66-yard field goal. We have seen this numerous times, going way back, but it's happened a lot lately. So I figured we would highlight some of those painful memories today, commemorate them, unfortunately, because that's what we Lion fans do. With a game we are going to call What's My Name? So here's how you play, Eric. I will give you a scenario of a Lions heartbreaker, and you will tell me who is responsible for said heartbreaker.
Okay.
All right. Here we go. We will begin with, I decided to take the win in overtime in Chicago.
Detroit wins the toss. They give the Bears the ball. Detroit takes the win.
What's my name?
Oh, Marty Mornwig.
The bar is high.
That is correct, sir. Marty Morningwig, the Lions head coach. Back when it was sudden death, no matter what. Didn't matter. Takes the wind, not the ball.
Unbelievable.
This is the way the Detroit Lions lose games. Absolutely. Here's one for you. Maybe the Wayback Machine. I caught a 40-yard touchdown pass with 1 minute to play in the 1993 playoffs to beat the Lions in what would end up to be their last home playoff game to date. What is my name?
Oh, man, this is a toughie. That's a long time ago, Ryan.
I know. Our brains don't go back too far anymore. I will give you a clue. We'll phone a friend, and since you're on the phone with me, I'll be your friend today. He has a loudmouth brother on television.
Oh, it's Sterling Sharp.
Sterling Sharp. That is the Sterling Sharp game. The Lions had beaten Green Bay the week before, week 17, to get the home playoff game. And then Sterling Sharp. I believe he had 3 touchdowns in that game, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Sterling Sharp on that one. Heartbreaker number 3. Matt Stafford tried to hit Brandon Pettigrew late in the fourth quarter in a 2014 first-round playoff game in Dallas. I threw a flag for PI. But then with zero explanation, I just decided to pick up said flag and say, no foul. Continue. What is my name?
Oh, God. It wasn't Hockley, was it?
No.
Okay. I remember that TO should have, it was a TO that should have been somebody came off the sideline. It was
you're getting there.
That's Brian came off
took
the
his
sideline.
helmet off. Yeah.
He took his helmet off, came off the sideline. Should have got flagged for that. I'm drawing a blank, Ryan.
The response we're looking for is idiot referee. Idiot referee would work.
Yeah, there's a lot of those, Ryan.
We would also accept moron or big dummy. Any of those would suffice for that one.
You big dummy.
That was the response we were looking for. Here is a convoluted one, if there was ever one of those. I am responsible for a mandatory 10-second runoff in 2017 in the game against the Falcons. Golden Tate caught the ball at the 1-yard line and he was touched with his knee down. Instead of a touchdown, it was a mandatory 10-second runoff because the Lions apparently don't have enough time to run 2 yards to get up to the line and spike the ball, and that caused them to lose. Who is responsible? What is my name?
Another idiot referee.
Close. No, this would be the idiot in New York.
Oh,
Roger Goodell. We will
Goodell.
blame Roger for that one.
We definitely can. Just another incomprehensible way to lose a football game. That one was inexplainable. It's just there's so many times. It's just this franchise and what they have to go through. It's amazing.
Rules no
amazing.
one has ever heard of.
Oh, I know.
Which brings us to this one. Matt Stafford was murdered by Julius Peppers early in the game in Chicago. Some guy had to throw me, Calvin Johnson, the ball. But I didn't really catch the ball at the end of the game. That's what they say anyway. I didn't complete the process. That brought about the Calvin Johnson rule, which then Calvin Johnson went to screw up at least 3 other times in his career. Who threw the ball? What is my name?
Oh, man.
This is a tough one.
This is a tough one because we've had a lot of backups there. Give me a college.
Oh shoot! I don't even know the college. I'll give you a.
Give me a hint.
It's not his cousin, but he has a cousin named Grant who played basketball in Detroit.
Jeez. Yeah, I can see him. Number 14, Hill.
There you go. Close enough. Sean
close
Hill.
Enough. Sean Hill, that's right.
Hill, yes.
Yep.
Probably the best back, really good backup.
Honestly, he was probably the best backup Stafford had.
Ugh. And one last one, just to throw some salt in the wound, because why not at this point, right? I mean, come on. My team was down 20 to the Lions at halftime late in the season, but we fought back. Still down. Time expires, but my face mask gets brushed. And a penalty was called on my team. So that gave this guy over here one untimed down. He throws it 1,000,000 yards, 61 actually. Hail Mary to win the game, and the Lions are eliminated from playoff contention. Dang it. It's a double dose, double jeopardy as we leave. Who got the face mask and who threw the touchdown?
Well,
our names.
Well, Aaron Rodgers.
You done messed up, Aaron!
Threw the touchdown.
This is a tough one.
Oh man, I remember it like yesterday. What a terrible call. Hands to the face. It wasn't Deshaun Hand, was it?
Nope. Wasn't around quite yet.
I can't tell. All I remember is Aaron Rodgers falling down like a little girl and then getting an untimed down, and you knew what was going to happen, Ryan. You knew he was going to complete it. You knew it.
That would be Devin Taylor. Taylor.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Believe a 4th round pick. Could be wrong on that. Might be 5 or 6. I'm not quite sure. But yeah, these are just a few of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I could probably think of a few more.
You sure, Ryan?
Unbelievable. We got Stephen Tulloch out there jumping around, tearing his ACL, celebrating. I mean, what else are we
Incredible, man.
Oh, the Lions. Well, there is hope. Chicago stinks.
They're not good.
They stink, and if the kid's playing, obviously he will have one game under his belt, but that is a winnable game for sure. As long as we don't take the wind next week, I think we'll be okay. Well, I appreciate your goofing around with me again this week after our Jeopardy game next week. We'll have to play that again here in the future. But anything else, Eric? Let's get out of here quick with everybody. Anything else here before we go?
You said it, Ryan. This is a winnable one coming up this week, and we need to get the ones that we got a chance, because there's a few coming up that we don't. So, they need this one, or else it could be a minute. So, hopefully they, I saw some good things, especially defensively. I saw some improvements. But I thought the offense honestly took a step back this week, and I'd like to see them right the ship and get back to they're going to have to rely on that run game. Pound the ball, but Goff's got to be a little more. He's got to be a little bit more of a playmaker, especially in the play action game. And I'd like to see us protect him a little better, but that's on him to get us into those into the right protections. So I'd like to see that next week. Last
thing, and maybe I should have asked you this at the very beginning. When he comes out to kick a 66-yard field goal, we know he's one of, if not the most accurate of all time, but we've never 66 now. That's 2 yards beyond the current record, 6 feet beyond the current record. And when he kicked a 61, that was 8 years ago. That was a long time ago. And I know kickers can play for a while, but when he came out, what are you thinking? Are you thinking, no way he can do it? Or are you thinking, as a Lions fan, oh, this is going to happen, isn't it?
We're going to bite a kneecap off.
You knew it was going to happen, Ryan. You didn't think. You knew it was going to happen, especially after the snap before and not getting the delay. And I literally said to my wife, I'm like, he's going to make this. They should that not throwing that delay is going to come back and bite us. You watch right here, and sure enough, bang, bang, doink,
doink,
agony.
I
don't even get upset anymore, Ryan.
If you're gonna spew into this.
No, how can you?
Like, you just expect it to happen. So
right. Yeah, there's doctors and things you could probably go to if it does still bother you. Hearing 0-3 shouldn't bother you at this point.
There's no turds here.
We'll see if they can right the ship next week in Chicago, 1:00. Your Lions will try again for their first win of the year. Eric, thank you once again, my friend. We'll do it again next time.
All right, buddy. We'll see you.
All right, and thanks everybody out there. See ya.